Welcome back to the Kaspa Silver YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be doing a deep dive into the Tangem 2.0 hardware wallet. I have a brand new Tangem Kaspa exclusive card here that I'm going to be unboxing, showing how to set up and all that kind of fun stuff. But before we get into that, I want to first take a deep dive into Tangem and take a look at their company, the security of the cards, and just basically explain their whole purpose. So to start, Tangem, the whole purpose of Tangem is to secure your cryptocurrency completely offline and off of exchanges. The way it's securing your crypto is by storing your keys on a card that looks just like this. And your card can connect to your phone via NFC tapping. And the way this works basically is there's a chip within the card, and this chip has NFC capabilities, and then it connects to the card and keeps your keys within this chip safe and secured, and it never leaves your chip, and there's no way that anyone could extract the key from this chip. Now, Tangem does offer the seed phrase option with these cards, but I highly recommend not to use this option, as this goes completely against the purpose of Tangem's product. Tangem is supposed to solve the sometimes burdensome task of managing your seed phrase, writing it down on a piece of paper, and making sure that stays safe and doesn't get exposed to anyone. With Tangem, your seed phrase is never exposed to anyone or even yourself. The keys are generated on the cards. You can buy up to 3 cards or 2 cards, and those are the only amount of keys you have in the whole entire world, and it's related to those specific cards that you buy. The card is protected with EAL6+, which is the highest chip security standard. It's maximum resistant to dust, water, and temperature extremes. It has environmental protection, resistant to X-rays, electromagnetic pulses, and electrostatic discharge. And it's just a chip with an antenna, no points of vulnerability or elements that are prone to failure. It has counterfeit protection, and it's always ready to go because you never need to charge these cards because these chips are always working. Not only that, it has independent firmware audits to prove that the chips are secure. The Tangem firmware has 2 independent audits under its belt, first in 2018 by the Swiss company and another in 2023, which was just last year, by Riskier, an international security lab. Both audits confirm that the firmware has no backdoors or vulnerabilities, is not updatable, and contains no hidden algorithms. Another thing to note is that it's completely open source and verified by the community. The way Tangem works is it connects to an app on your phone, and that app is always 100% open source. And that means if Tangem was to ever close down, you can always still operate the app because the app operates independent from Tangem's servers, and you can always create a brand new Tangem app based on the source code. They also have a guarantee that the card will last for at least 25 plus years, and they say we are confident that when used correctly, your Tangem wallet will remain safe for at least 25 years. The hermetic plastic construction guarantees that the chip will remain secure even in depths of the Mariana Trench. Another thing to note is that the company was founded back in 2017, and they pretty much started producing cards around 2018, and Tangem has never been hacked. You can look on YouTube and you cannot find one video where anyone is complaining, or anywhere else online where someone is complaining that they've been hacked using Tangem. Now, we're going to get into possibly some of the vulnerabilities that may be with Tangem, so you guys are getting the full scope of Tangem, and I'm going to hopefully outline the pros and the cons so that you guys can make your best choice. But with Tangem, the only video that is possibly a problem with Tangem is the fact that someone did receive 3 cards and one of the cards broke on them. But the solution to this is the fact that Tangem makes you buy at least 2 cards, and this is because if one of them was to break, you have a backup. And this case was actually, when I asked about it, was one of their first cases where one of the cards were broken, and we absolutely don't know for sure what they were doing with this card. This person in this video claimed that they had left it simply in their wallet, but we don't know exactly where that wallet has been or anything like that to really know for sure what happened to this chip in this card. But nonetheless, he still had 2 other backup cards, and he was still able to get into his funds. So again, this has nothing to do with Tangem getting hacked, but this is why you have multiple cards and not just one, because in the event that one of them breaks, you still have the backups, and the chances of all breaking at once are extremely low. Within the Kaspa community, we have Tangem support, and we have a developer named Coder of Stuff that willingly looks into these hardware wallets for us and checks the code and tries to find anything vulnerable in this code. And here are some of the notes that he came up with. So one of the questions he has is the ECDSA signing done on the chip, and is it done in a secure manner? If you don't know anything about this, basically the way these Tangem cards sign transactions is a way that could be vulnerable to a type of hack if it doesn't sign it correctly. I have personally, and Coder Stuff has personally asked Tangem about the signing method about this, and they assured that the security audits prove that the chips do the signing completely secured. And the best place to find information about Tangem's card and its chip is Tangem's help center on their website. You can look into the security, and they basically explain exactly how it works. They even provide documents like the actual document of how this chip is basically designed, because this chip is designed by Samsung. And you can also see this is the website of the chip that is designed by website, which is secured up to EAL6 Plus, which is the highest chip security standard. Moving on to what else Coder Stuff said here. He says that their answer was yes, it's done in the chip, it's done in the secure manner. This does not repeat the nonce values and uses a true random one per signing. It was audited by Risser, a third-party auditor. There are plans to make available a way to confirm that the audited version of the firmware is what's on the chip, although there are no timelines on this. And what Coder Stuff is describing here is Tangem has said in the past that eventually they're going to implement a way that you can confirm that the chip that's in your card is the one that was actually audited, and they'll be adding this feature to the app eventually. But for the past few years with Tangem has just continuously delivered on the community's request and still has not experienced anything bad with their cards. Lastly, I want to show this additional info, and this is that Tangem has this as its tech stack. The card firmware is closed source. It runs on the card, and this is what is security audited. The blockchain SDK is open source. The card SDK is open source, and the mobile app is open source. So the only thing that's closed source is the card firmware, which is the chip that's in that card, but that chip does not connect to the internet because it's connected to your card that can only connect to your phone via NFC compatibility. So when it comes to Tangem, what is probably the most vulnerable way that something could go wrong, even though we've never seen it before? And Coder Stuff explains here, the card itself will sign whatever you pass into it. So an attack vector is the presumably fake mobile app shows the transaction details on screen. You as a user say, yeah, that looks legit. It hashes something else, say, I don't know, a transaction that instead takes your funds and send it to the burn address or whatever. It sends the SIG hash to the chip to sign. The car will happily sign this. So ultimately, the only way that an attack vector could exist is if you stumble upon using an incorrect version of the app that's been hacked, or your phone got compromised and they were able to compromise the app. Now, this scenario is highly unlikely just based on the fact that our phones are usually highly secure, especially if you're having an Apple iPhone that is always having updates to ensure security. And as long as you're making sure you're downloading the legit app from the Play Store or the App Store, you pretty much don't have to worry about this. And also, if you're using Tangem for simply holding your funds, then again, you don't have to worry about your funds disappearing or anything like that, because this attack is mainly if you're going to be sending funds, and it should be common practice to make sure you are always sending a small amount just to make sure everything is good before you send anything, and practice common security practices to prevent your phone from being compromised or anything like that. So I hope that helped explain Tangem a little bit further, and you probably got some insights that you may have not known before, and can maybe reassure you that what you have with Tangem is a very secure product. All right, so if you decide to purchase a Tangem wallet, what you're going to get in the mail is something like this. The only difference is you won't have this Kaspa logo, but I personally bought the Kaspa exclusive cards and was able to get my hands on some of these when they did have the time period to buy these. When you get this, it usually is fully sealed, and there used to be strips here that you would have to peel off, but it looks like they removed that because simply this card cannot be compromised even if the sealant was broken, because the chip can't really be hacked since the chip is connected inside the actual card. And when you connect the Tangem cards to your phone, the app itself does a check to make sure that the chip is still authentic and is from the factory. So let's go ahead and open up this real quick. All right, so once you've opened this up, you can just simply kind of just play with it right here to open the box and have it hopefully slide down out of here so that I can get access to the cards. So basically it's just going to be in here, and once we get it out, oh, they just all fell out, but we got the 3 Kaspa cards right here that I had purchased from Tangem. So it comes with the 3 cards, and then after that you're going to also get the getting started kit, which is just basically going to tell you to download the Tangem app and make sure that it's the app directly from either the App Store or Google Play. And then you're going to have some more specifications and stuff like that. But other than that, that's all you pretty much get from Tangem. But you get 3 cards, and you get to back up your keys into these 3 cards, depending on whether or not you choose to have a seed phrase or not. If you do have a seed phrase, then you can back up the seed phrase to these 3 cards and also write it down somewhere else. All right, so next, let's go ahead and set this up with my phone. All right, so we're back at my computer here, and this is a screen view of my phone. So you're going to want to make sure that you do download the Tangem app from the App Store or Play Store. I'm using an iPhone here. And then what you're going to want to do is click the Tangem app, and then you want to click Scan Card. Then you're just going to grab any of the 3 cards that you have and just simply tap it behind your phone, and then it's going to want to set up a brand new card. So here's where you can choose if you want to create a brand new wallet or use a seed phrase to import a wallet or generate a brand new seed phrase. I recommend not to generate a seed phrase because the whole purpose of Tangem's wallet design is to not have a seed phrase and allow the chip to secure your keys for you so that you don't have to worry about a bunch of words that you need to write down and keep somewhere safe. You keep these cards safe because these cards are your keys. If you lose all 3 of them, then of course you would lose your funds, but it's the same thing as like a seed phrase. If you lose your seed phrase, you will lose your funds. Yes, you can't recover these cards anywhere else or any other hardware wallet apps, but the Tangem app is open source, so the app should always be operational. So we're going to go back here and just click create new wallet, and now it's going to ask for a card to start creating the wallet on. So you just choose a random one. Once it scans the card, it's going to say done here. And then the next thing it's going to do is ask for a password that you want to have associated with the card. The good thing about this password that's associated with the card is the fact that if anyone tries to brute force into this, every time they have incorrect responses, they have to wait an extra second. So it's pretty much impossible to be able to brute force into the Tangem wallet. If someone was to steal your card, they still need to know the password that's associated to your cards. All right, so next I'm going to add a backup card. I'm going to click that, scan my second card, and then it's going to back up the seed phrase into the chip of that card. And then after it does this second backup, it's going to ask for one more backup since I do have 3 cards here. Now it's asking me to back up the final card to finalize the verification process with these cards. So I'm going to go ahead and scan it as well. And then after this, it should go into the end of the backup, which is to create that access code that I was describing earlier. For the purpose of this video, I'm just going to make it something easy. And then I'm going to go ahead and re-enter this. Make sure this is something difficult because you don't want someone to be able to figure it out. Now it's going to ask for the primary card, and on the back of these cards, there's numbers there so you can make sure which one was that primary card that you use. And then you need to prepare it and scan each card now. So now I'm just simply backing up each card again, and every time you tap the card on the phone, you need to hold it for about 15 seconds, and then it'll ask you for the next card. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll get back to you once I finish that. Once you complete backing up all the cards, it should say success. Your wallet card is configured and ready to use, and then you just click continue to my wallet, and it should take you to the wallet screen. Then once you finish setting up your cards, this is how Tangem wallet looks like once you are inside the app. So here you could see that the coins are below, and you can click organize coins to put whichever order you want them in. You can also click down here where it says manage tokens, and this is so that you can add different cryptocurrencies here. And for the purpose of this video, I do want to showcase how to purchase Kaspa via the app. So I'm going to go ahead and add Kaspa first to the Tangem wallet, and before I can add it, I do have to put in my access code, and then I'll also have to scan one of the cards to make sure that that can go through. Then what that's going to do is simply just add Kaspa to the cards. If we click the top right over here, there's some settings, and here you can see that you can connect to dApps. You can click add new wallet to add a brand new wallet to the Tangem app. You can click card settings, and here you can scan your card and reset the card to factory settings. This will delete your keys and also wipe away all your funds. So please don't do this unless you really have to and have already moved your funds off of Tangem. You can click over here for app settings. You could change the app's currency. You can also enable biometric authentication like Face ID so that it saves the card's information on the app, but you can only access it if you put your Face ID. I personally don't believe in Face ID, so I don't have that. And they also have the flip to hide balances feature, and also you could change the theme to be dark mode, which I rather have. And also just showing you that flip to hide the prices. You can see here that if I just flip my phone down, it will hide the balances. So basically if I just flip it down and up again, it will show the balances. I think that's a really cool feature. But other than that, that's pretty much all you can do with Tangem. They also have a referral program here where you can set up your card to be able to receive payment. If you do refer people, you get $5 in USDT after 30 days of someone purchasing that. You can also have the chat right here, so you can chat with Tangem if you need some support, the terms of service, and you can also send feedback to them. So that's pretty much it when it comes to the app here. Let's now go into how to purchase Kaspa from within the app. So Tangem recently integrated Change Now within their app. Change Now is a decentralized exchange that I have covered in the past to purchase Kaspa. And it's pretty much the same way, but now I can just use Tangem itself. So I'm going to be showing you guys exactly how to do that. So if you're not familiar with Change Now, basically all it is a swap service that allows you to swap another cryptocurrency into the desired cryptocurrency. And personally, what I do to avoid fees as much as possible, I typically try to buy XLM and swap it for Kaspa. So the best way to buy XLM is however you normally are able to buy crypto on exchanges that you are already used to and have set up all your information on there. I personally use Robinhood in the US because with Robinhood, it is a lot easier to fund your account and with a debit card and be able to withdraw instantly. So I'm going to be showing you guys exactly how I buy XLM and send XLM to Tangem so then I can actually swap for Kaspa. First, fund the account. So I'm just going to go and click buying power right here and click deposit funds. And then I'm going to go ahead and choose my debit card and just go ahead and deposit $50 worth of USD into Robinhood with my debit card here. The next thing I'm going to do is then go back into XLM and go ahead and click buy. I want to buy all. I'm going to swipe up and then hopefully it should purchase my XLM. Once I've purchased my XLM, what I'm going to want to do is send this XLM to my Tangem card, which is very easy to do. I'm going to go ahead and go back into Tangem. I'm going to click Manage Tokens. I'm going to search for XLM, and then I'm going to go here and click this right here to add it to my wallet. I'm going to go ahead and put the access code in, and then I'm going to scan one of the cards. And then once it goes through, I have XLM as part of my wallet. I'm going to go ahead and click receive. I'm going to copy the address, and then I'm going to go into Robinhood and go ahead and send this XLM to the address. I'm going to hit send. And then since I am recording this right now, it's not going to show exactly what I'm doing, but simply all it is I'm going to be pasting what I just copied on Tangem, which is my address, into Robinhood. And for you, it may be another exchange, but you'll just be copying that address that you copied from Tangem and be putting it into your exchange and then sending all of the funds to Tangem. So when it comes to sending your funds to Tangem with XLM, XLM on Tangem does not have a memo. So if it is requesting a memo, you can go ahead and skip that. That's fine. It will still send it to the correct address. And right now I'm just waiting for the XLM to show up in my Tangem wallet, which shouldn't be too much longer. So I'll be right back once the money has settled in the wallet. So the money has now showed up, and you can see that I wanted to purchase $50 worth of XLM. I sent that $50 and I'm still left with about $49.88. Now the next step is to swap this into Kaspa, and all you got to do is go ahead and click swap. And then I already have Kaspa chosen here, but I'm going to go ahead and just put the maximum amount. And then it's going to tell me that I'm going to receive 436 Kaspa in exchange for this XLM. I'm going to go ahead and click swap at the very bottom here. And then I'm going to go ahead and put that access code again. And then I have to scan that card that I have here. And it could be either of the 3 cards that you have. And then it's just going to load real quick here. And then the exchange should go underway. Once the exchange has started, you'll be able to see it right down below here. It says exchange by change now. You can tap on it and you could see that it's saying awaiting deposit. And then after it gets to the deposit, it will say confirming, exchanging, and then sending to you. This usually should not take that long at all. For me, it's personally always taken around 5 to 10 minutes. The only time where it has taken way more than that is if there's a lot of volatility in the prices of these cryptocurrencies. If there's a lot of volatility, then for sure you may have a time where it's not going to execute right away because the price is fluctuating so much, and you may have to go into chat with Change Now. And what you would do is just click where it says go to provider, and when you click that, it will go into an actual exchange on their platform, and then you should be able to open up a chat at the very bottom corner here. If you're ever having problems that it's just taking way too long, you can open up that chat and let them know that you're waiting. And I have always been successful in still acquiring my funds. I highly recommend that you use something like XLM, use currencies that are fast and cheap, because if you use anything like Ethereum with a lot of fees, you're going to be with a lot of fees there, and sometimes the delays can be a lot longer. So XLM is pretty fast, and you could see that it's already saying here that it's awaiting for the deposit, and now it's just confirming it. And so I'll be right back to you once this fully exchanges and puts the Kaspa in my wallet. Okay, and there you have it. About like 30 seconds later, the money is now exchanged into Kaspa, and you could see after all of that, I only lost almost close to 60 cents in fees here. So that's not that bad at all. Only losing about, what was it? It was 70 cents in fees pretty much. But out of, usually when you're purchasing crypto, you can lose multiple dollars, and only losing 70 cents here is not that bad at all. So there you go. The Kaspa is now there, and that's very easy. You can do this with any other cryptocurrencies as well with Change Now. Change Now does support most cryptocurrencies. So this is a good way to be able to purchase other cryptos within the Tangem app itself and not have to go through a centralized exchange. So lastly, I know some people may have the old Tangem cards. And honestly, if you're looking for an upgrade to these new cards, what's the difference? Ultimately, the difference is you are able to put a seed phrase on these cards if you want to, which I don't recommend. And then secondly, the cards are a whole lot more durable than the old ones. I have an old one right here that I'm going to try to put in the camera, but you could see that it's messed up over time. It also is a lot more flimsy and it can bend really easily. These new cards are a lot more durable. I know it has the Kaspa logo, but if you get the normal Tangem one, that has the Tangem logo there, they look a lot more cleaner. They're just fully black. There's nothing, no extra text on them really. Like this one has a lot of text and design on it. I like the new ones that they're just very clean and they are a lot more durable than the old Tangem cards. So if you are thinking about getting new ones, you don't really have to. I mean, these old ones still work. But if you do just want brand new cards that look nicer, have the ability to integrate the seed phrase, if you really do want that, then by all means, that is what you can do. If you're interested in purchasing these Tangem cards, you can use the code Kaspa Silver at the checkout and you can get 10% off. The link should be down below to get these Tangem cards. I do get a commission if you guys choose to do that. So I thank you so much for supporting my channel if you do use that code. And thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new around here. And as always, don't be average, be different.